Welcome back, folks. I'm Frizz, and today I'd like to take some time to talk about scouting out information and preparation. I've mentioned quite a few times, honestly, on this channel that scouting and preparing for certain encounters is pretty impactful and fun, but I sort of need to talk about it some more because while preparation is important, how important it is changes a lot based on your party composition and what sort of campaign you're actually in. Before we get into that stuff, though, we should clarify exactly what I'm talking about when I say scouting and preparation. Some encounters don't really require any preparation, since if a creature just hits really hard, there's not a whole lot you can prepare to do about that. But tons and tons of stat blocks in 2e have some kind of exploitable weakness. If you think that you're going to be fighting something that's weak to fire, finding items or preparing spells that deal fire damage is going to make that fight a hell of a lot easier. And scouting is just finding out any information that would be relevant before you roll for initiative, and hopefully enough in advance that you can actually prepare stuff to deal with those problems. Naturally, your party composition is going to matter a lot when it comes to determining how much allowing for preparation matters. If you're a bunch of martial characters and spontaneous spellcasters, the extent of preparation you can make is probably just going to be limited to buying particular items. On the other hand, if you've got a prepared spellcaster like a wizard or an alchemist in the party, then being able to pick the right spells or items ahead of time is going to make a really big difference. And that power of preparation is also just the power of those classes. Being able to prepare the exact stuff you need to take down a creature is a power of those classes. So providing that prep time to players playing those classes is really vital, and not having that prep time can make those classes feel worse than they are. Now, when I say scouting, I'm not purely just describing skulking around the shadows and listening in on people through doors. Of course, stealth is a pretty damn good way to scout out information about places, but it's far from the only way to get that sort of intel. As an example, if the party is investigating a creature that's been attacking a village's farms, if someone wants to talk to people to see what they saw, or try and figure out what the creature is by studying their tracks, or even just recalling knowledge based on whatever description that they've been given, all of those are ways to scout out meaningful information to help the party. And I really suggest for GMs to make those avenues of inquiry actually worthwhile by, giving out information. I really cannot understate just how impactful proper preparation can be. If you figure out that you're going to be fighting some clockwork creature that's weak to electricity damage, being able to prepare conductive weapon is going to make that fight so much easier. The damage from that one spell is going to massively increase one party member's damage output, and putting that on the right party member is going to make that fight dramatically easier. Having the right spells or items can be an absolute game changer and transform a fight that is on the edge of killing a PC into one that's actually incredibly manageable. Of course, though, scouting out fights ahead of time and preparing for them isn't always feasible, and I'd go so far as to say that allowing the party to always prepare for fights would actually be bad. Surprising people with weird encounters or subverting expectations, that's all fun, and it'd be a shame to not have any of those sorts of encounters. The point I'm trying to make is that if you have a party that is heavily incentivized to prepare for their threats just because of their class features, they should be able to prepare for them, and they should be given more opportunities to do that. It isn't always going to be feasible, but I think that it helps make the game a bit more fun. Thanks for watching. Recently in one of my games, we scouted out an entire boat and broke down exactly how we went to deal with all the problems on board, which has been a lot of fun. What sort of experience have you had with preparing for specific encounters? Let me know in a comment down below, and while you're down there, you can always consider subscribing or joining up as a member. My members get some extra benefits and really just support me a ton. Regardless of that, though, until I see you next, live a wonderful life.